Hello, everybody, and welcome back to MTG Bulk Mythic. And today we are finally opening that last set of 6 set boosters out of the box. We're going to complete the box. It has some decent pulls recently, but not some of the big names in the game, if you will. And I'm really trying to get this done so that we can get it out of the way because we have Strixhaven right around the corner. So I got a couple other videos to finish up with Kaldheim, including the bundle that I'm going to be opening here after this one. So be looking forward to the channel on that. Don't forget, if you're enjoying the channel, to like, subscribe, share with a friend, find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm trying to get better at posting on those so that everybody knows what's going on, and you guys can come and check out the rest of the content on the channel. I also have already posted the rest of the uh, remastered Time Spiral remastered booster box that I got my 6 packs out of for the Spell Table event. So look back in the catalog to check that guy out. Some pretty spicy pulls in that one. Super excited about what we got in that. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and crack into it so we can get this guy out of the way because Kaldheim is almost old news. So first things first, we got our foil Woodland Chasm. Our connected commons are giant themed. Uncommons are artifact themed right here. Red, white artifacts. Okay. And then our first rare is Cosima, God of the Voyage. And then we got our obligatory snow card, foil Warhammer Blast, and a mini game. All right. Not too bad of a start. The flip side, of course, of Cosima is the ship 3/3 artifact vehicle, crew 1, that whenever a vehicle you control, it doesn't have to be this one, it can be any vehicle you control, deals damage to a player, that player exiles that many cards from the top of their library, and you may play lands from among the cards exiled. Or Cosima is the one that you can send on a voyage, and every time you play a land, put a +1/+1 counter on it, or return it to play. Or actually put a what was it kind of a counter to you voyage counter. So yeah, put a voyage counter on it, or you can return to play with a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the voyage counters. So here we go. Here we go. It looks like the uncommons are just gold thing. And here is a showcase frame, Asika, God of the Tree. The 3 mana 1/4 vigilance, tap to add a mana of any color. And then legendary creatures you control have vigilance and tap to add a mana of any color. And then the prismatic bridge on the backside, legendary enchantment. So this is a pretty interesting card right here. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature or planeswalker, put it onto the battlefield, and the rest on the bottom. So every single turn you get a free creature, planeswalker. And here's Nafri. Good old Nafri. Good limited card. And then we have Arnie the Broken Brow as a foil rare showcase. That's pretty cool. The art, I have to hand it to him. The art on these showcase cards is pretty awesome. The border, I'm really liking the border. I think they, like, if you gotta think about it, you go all the way back to, Amonkhet and the showcases that they had. Well, what became showcases now. Back then, I can't remember what they were called, but the invocations, yeah, invocations. Um, a lot of people were really disappointed with the way the invocations came out, just because of how busy the frame was and how it just restricted the art so much. That these showcases here and the showcases from the last couple of sets have been really cool. I'm happy with those. Here's a pathway, our first pathway. Darkboard pathway is tap for black land on the front, tap for green land on the back. Again, pathways. If you play paper magic in basically any format, non-rotating format for that matter, get your pathways. Get them now while people are still opening up product and they're inexpensive because they're just gonna be playable and everything. Even Mark Rosewater was saying like this is what the fetch lands should have been, right? Because the whole point of the fetch lands was a land that allowed you to choose, but then once you made your choice of what color of land you wanted, that's what it was for the rest of the game. But instead, because there were fetches and searching graveyard shenanigans and all that kind of stuff, they turned out to be a lot more powerful than they really intended a land to be. And here's Starnheim Unleashed. A sorcery with Foretell gets you all the angels, all the flying angels. I can't tell you how many times I've lost to this in limited. I never get lucky enough to draft it, but I definitely have lost to it. We have the Showcase Cole the Forge Master and a foil Immerstrom Raider. All right, a couple more packs left here, and we'll be done with this box. So let me know, how are you guys liking these openings? I think with the next box, I'm not gonna do them so few packs at a time. This just turned into too many episodes, and there's a lot of other stuff that I had an opportunity to work with, especially with Time Spiral Remastered coming out. That I kind of got behind on the videos for this. I wanted to be done with this a long time ago, and I still have a couple more things to show you guys, and some other non-opening videos, some just different content, different style content that I still want to make. So I think with the next set booster box coming out of Strixhaven, I'm going to do it in fewer videos, maybe 3. I think 3 sets of 10 is pretty good without making the videos too long. Allow me to move on to some of the other product that's out there. So the other thing with Strixhaven is for the pre-release packs, they've broken them down into the schools. So they've done this before. They did it with Cons of Tarkir. So sorry about that glitch. Had a little bit of technical difficulty. Had to replace the battery in the camera. And some of the other products I'm going to be opening are those individual pre-release packs. So like previous sets before, you pick a pre-release pack based on what kind of theme you're anticipating being able to play in the pre-release event. So these are all based on the colleges. I got one of each college, so we can crack those open and see what the difference is. So with those, they're going to have 5 normal draft booster packs, and they're going to have 1 pack that's specially seeded to be cards from that college. So it's basically supposed to ensure that you get enough cards that you are pushed in the direction of playing the color combination that you want to, that you chose, right? So without further, with all that being said, there's going to be some of the things to look forward to on the channel. Our last card of our last pack here is one of the list cards. Here you can tell because of the Planeswalker symbol here down in the corner, and this is from Kamigawa. So a lot of people call the double face cards flip cards, but they're not. These are the flip cards, and you can see why they kind of shied away from this. So it's 2 cards here. The top half is the primary card. It has the casting cost, and this is what it would be when it is in your hand and when you cast it from the stack and it enters the battlefield. And then in the rules text, it has an ability that would cause you to flip it, and when you flip it, it would become the other half. And they always would have this art that would kind of make sense regardless of which way the card's showing, but you can see how this would be confusing in an actual game, because do you tap it to the left and untap to the right, or tap to the right, untap to the left, or when you tapped it, what side was it on? When we untap it, which side is up? And so it was an interesting test in design, but what it ended up being was a giant failure. So they don't make cards like this anymore. Now they go to the modal double faced cards, or the other double faced cards like your transforming double faced cards. And it just seemed they just ended up being a cleaner design. So very interesting to look back in time and see that guy there. I did not play during Kamigawa. I had a really long hiatus. There were a lot of sets that I missed, but I've been catching up with the history of the sets, and that's kind of a cool little niche. That probably the only time that we will ever see cards of this style, even with digital coming into prominence, because they're always going to print paper cards. So that's it. That's the last little bit of the set booster box. You know, Starnheim Unleashed, the Pathway, probably that foil Arnie and Esika, right? So not bad pulls out of this set of 6 cards right here at all. Cosmina isn't played as much as I think she could be, but Esika, Arnie's getting put in more of the red aggressive decks again. Pathways are always playable. Starnheim Unleashed is being played in those control-y, grindy, the Yorion decks, that kind of stuff. So definitely some good cards there. And that's it for the set booster box. I do have again a bundle to open up, and one more surprise opening for you guys from Kaldheim before we move on to Strixhaven. So hopefully you enjoy those. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe, all those wonderful things to let people know that we're out here sharing our hobby together.